Nope. Pass. All right, here we go. All right, what's up, everybody? Slight music mishap at the beginning. Can't be starting with a slow song. What are we doing here? What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Good evening, potentially. Good morning, folks. Today is Tuesday, December 27th. Welcome to episode number 269 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. I'm your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next 45 minutes, I'll be delivering the top cyber news stories of the day and providing expert analysis on each of those stories, on what it means to you as a practitioner, or if you're looking to break into the industry, we got you covered. But before we get into that, before we get into the news, before we get into the jaw jacking, I do want to shout out and say thanks to the stream sponsors, starting with Barricade Cyber Solutions. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. You can see on the stream if you're watching. This is Barricade Cyber's website. Half a click down, here is Eric Taylor, the CEO and lead incident responder at Barricade Cyber's calendar. Click, you can have a meeting with him tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. That sounds a little rough. There we go. Look towards Thursday. You can get a 9 a.m. appointment with him over there. So definitely check out barricadecyber.com for your ransomware and other incident response needs. Great group of people over there. I also want to I also want to say shout out and thanks to Recon InfoSec for all they do for the stream as well. Listen, Recon InfoSec's Managed Detection and Response MDR offering includes the people, process, and technology, so the full stack, needed to deliver full spectrum SecOps to organizations of any size, so 10-person, 50-person, 300-person. Their MDR service includes fully managed SIM and SOAR, which is nice because if you don't have the headcount to manage a SIM, you're just like spraying logs at something that you're not going to look at and probably paying for the logs. Recon InfoSec's MDR allows customers of theirs to gain full visibility into their own environment, as well as any incidents being investigated by the Recon SOC team. All right, guys, here's the deal. MDR, Managed Detection and Response. If you're actively managing an information security program, say you're a one-person shop, right? If you're a one-person shop, you need real help. People looking at logs, people tuning up detections, etc. That's where MDR comes in. Like, normally it would cost, like, let's just say it costs $100,000 to hire one more person onto your staff, right? Fully loaded, 100 grand. Well, for that same amount of money, you can, like, and I don't know Recon InfoSec's pricing structure. Don't quote me on this, but I've done MDR shopping before. Between like $75,000 and $250,000, you can get a team of analysts working for you. It's a really great cost-effective solution. In fact, if chat wants, I'll do a video on what MDR is, because it really is a good thing for our industry. Now, if you're live or on replay, I want to remind you, each episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Briefing is worth half a CPE, right? So if you have cybersecurity certifications, whether you just earned them or you've had them for years and years and years and you're contemplating not renewing them, you still have CPEs. Each episode's half a CPE, which stacks, right? 2.5 weeks, 10 a month. Be sure to say what's up in chat, just like Zombie Guy Justin just did, just like Marcy Friedman's doing this morning. Doris from Germany's up in here, right? Just say what's up. That way you have auditable, irrefutable evidence if an auditor ever comes back and says, what's this Simply Cyber stuff? How is this a CPE? Were you there? You can be like, yeah, look at the stream. Bruh. Look at the stream, bruh. What's up, Jay Smith, member for 5 months. Love it, love it, love it. All right, guys. Now, if you are live, hashtag Team Live in chat. We're going to get to the news in just a minute like we always do. If you're on replay, do take a minute and hashtag Team Replay in the comments. Thanks for catching the stream. Plus, if you do it in the comments, it's also auditable evidence, obviously. Now, if you're on replay and you want to get right to the news, watch for the screen to change to that. But for the next, I don't know, say minute and a half, 2 minutes, as I like to do, I'm going to have a sip of coffee, say good morning to chat, and see how everybody's doing. What's up, James McQuiggan? Good to see you, sir. Jeff Watala. James and I are playing chess right now. We have an ongoing match of chess. I made friends with James at Black Hat this year, and we've continued that relationship on. What's up, Usha412? Hey, Israel. Good to see you. Mervin's up in here, Team Live. Jan DeVries. What's up? What's up? K. Scott Powell with the emotes. I love the tinfoil hat and Carl. Let's give Carl a little love, y'all. All right. What's up, Garrett? Good to see you, man. Guys, I've got good news and bad news depending on who you are. Not next week, but the week after. So the week of January, 11th. Citadel starts back up, y'all. I'll be teaching again. So Tuesday, Thursdays are going to go back to 10. But for the next 2 weeks, it'll be 8 a.m. every day. Oh, good. Carrie's getting good notes at Secop Institute. That's fantastic. Randall Lundy, good to see you. Hey, Shane Prevost, my man. Cheers. Thanks, Harish. I had a pretty good break. It was nice to spend time with the family. I tried to stay off tech as much as I could. Although I did stream a video game yesterday, which I like video games. I don't get to play them often, but I do like them. Marcus Cyber officially starting the cybersecurity journey on 110. Yes. Love it. All right, guys, 30 seconds, and then we're going to boogie into the news here. Hey, Eric Silverman. Hey, Tom Bishop. Good to see you. Good morning to you, Joe Salisbury. Love it. Marcus. Hey, Marcus, I've got a video on the channel if you're interested. How to crush your first 90 days at your cybersecurity job. It's like a 15-minute video. If you want to watch that, it might give you some ammunition to just start kicking mud holes week one at your new job. Also, be sure to sign up for the Simply Cyber newsletter. That'll give you ammunition to kick butt as well at your new job. All right. We are boogieing. Oh, Jeremy Williams with a super chat.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup.
Thanks, Jeremy. Hope everything's well in the paramedic world, man. The boo-boo bus. Nice. Carrie's got a date for the second part of the A-plus test. Very nice. I love it. Jess Bishop. You get it. You get it. You get it. Love it. All right, y'all. Oh, thank you, Mervin. Yeah, that video is really good. That night. I mean, it's my video, so it sounds a little prickish to say, or douchey to say it's good, but just, I think it's useful. I mean, I try to only put content out that can be useful. So go check it out. All right, guys. I think it's time that we got into the news. What do you say? Let's do it. Here we go. Sit back, relax, and let's get some cyber news, y'all.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
It's Tuesday, December 27th, 2022.
Yeah, Manhunt was good. It was fun.
LastPass admits to severe data breach, encrypted password vaults stolen. The August 2022 security breach of LastPass may have been more severe than the company previously disclosed. On Thursday, LastPass revealed that malicious actors obtained a trove of personal information belonging to its customers that include their encrypted passwords by using data siphoned from the earlier break-in. Also stolen is, quote, basic customer account information and related metadata, including company names, end user names, billing addresses, email addresses, telephone numbers, and the IP addresses from which customers were accessing the LastPass service, end quote. The August 2022 incident, which remains the subject of an ongoing investigation, involved hackers accessing a source code and proprietary technical information from its development environment via a single compromised employee account. Experts recommend that LastPass users change their master password as quickly as possible.
Yeah, gosh. So this sucks. Jeremy, I saw your note about your kid. I hope your son's all right. That sounds awful and scary at the same time. Guys, this is a hot mess on fire. This is like boing. This is what this is right here. Hot mess on fire. So I feel like we talked about this on Friday last week, right? So if you caught the stream last week, I did my own podcast. Just so you know, based on the metrics, people don't like it when I when I do the news by myself. Okay, so LastPass admits severe data breach. This is gross. Now, the one nice thing about LastPass and many of these other password vault managers is that they do not have master keys to your encrypted database. So remember, if you use LastPass, your vault is technically safe. AES 256 encryption is unbreakable at this time, and your passwords are technically safe. Now, a couple things. One, the threat actors did get all sorts of other kind of information, URLs, personal information. So the level of phishing could go up. If you reuse passwords, which by God,
You are so dumb.
listen, I hate to be that judgy guy, but if you are reusing passwords for your master password vault, that is egregious. That is terrible. That is unacceptable. You cannot have the key to your password kingdom be something that you have used anywhere else. That's just a fact, not an opinion. You can't do that, okay? So if you have done that, only you know, right? If you have done that, you need to change your LastPass vault password immediately. Immediately. Threat actors have password dump lists, okay? If they have a dump list and they have your username or email address, believe me, they are going to try all of those combinations, username and password that they have from a dump on the password vault to see if they can decrypt it. Believe me, if you have reused it, they will get in, okay? Or there's a higher probability that they'll get in. Second of all, because AES 256 is unbreachable now, does not mean it's unbreakable in the future. Now, technically, these hackers likely aren't a nation state threat actor hoarding it for whatever reason, but just know that if me, you, and Dan Catledge here have the LastPass vaults for 100,000, 200,000 users or whatever, it's not going to expire. We can just put it on the shelf. And when quantum computers come up and there's like a point and click, break a password, that could happen, right? We could just shred through those. So there's that. And then third, even if you didn't reuse a password, if you have a crap password, one that is in password lists, threat actors could brute force attack your vaulted password, right? So all of that is a long way to say change your password. Now, I just want to point out one other thing that makes this really, really bad too. Okay? I don't know the architecture of what's going on, but while I'm talking about this out loud and processing it, things are occurring to me. I don't know the architecture, but dude, if I have copied down your password vault, right? If I've exfilled the vaults, changing the password does not protect from confidentiality any longer. Do you see what I'm saying? If you've taken a copy of my LastPass base and I change my LastPass password, yes, you cannot log into my LastPass account. That's hooked up to the cloud right now. But the data exfilled one that's local, I don't see why you couldn't break into that one. Not only do you need to change your LastPass password, you need to change all the passwords of accounts that are inside the LastPass password. And I'm sorry to let you know that if you have taken, a lot of people do this, if you have taken a screenshot of your backup codes, your one-time backup codes to get into systems and saved it as a note in LastPass, consider that burnt as well. This is incredibly painful and full of friction for users of LastPass. This could sink LastPass, frankly. This is a really, really, really bad situation for LastPass and its customer base. So TLDR, I use Bitwarden, Harish. I use Bitwarden, but Bitwarden's going to be the same. So from a architecture perspective, Bitwarden and LastPass are similar. They're both cloud-based. They both don't have keys to your password vault, but if this story right here could say Bitwarden admits to severe data breach, encrypted password vault stolen, and it would like, you know what I mean? It's the only way to really avoid this particular threat is to have a localized password vault solution, which there are some, but you're trading in the convenience of having cross-platform password logins, right? So with LastPass, Bitwarden, I go to my phone, I can log into stuff. I go to my computer, I can log into stuff. I launch Chrome, I can log into stuff. With the localized ones, it's much more like copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, right? So yeah, KeePass is the one. Anyways, long story short, you should go change your LastPass passwords. The ones that are stored in your LastPass password vault. Yeah. Or even again, while I'm thinking about it, I have migrated off LastPass. I migrated off LastPass 2 years ago. Okay. So what I really should do is go change my LastPass password vault, since I still have it. I never sunset. I never terminate. Actually, I may have terminated my account, but go change all of my passwords for my accounts that I currently hold, which is in the hundreds, but it is what it is, people. It sucks, but that's what it's all about. What about adding a hardware token to LastPass MFA? That's a good point, Chase. I think that would help. So if you added a hardware pass MFA into the vault, that could help. It doesn't change the fact that if they have a localized instance of the database, that there is potential that they could hack it. But it probably adds a layer of security that makes it beyond challenging for them to just move on to the next one.
Chris Inglis to resign as National Cyber Director. National Cyber Director Chris Inglis plans to step down from his position as a senior White House cybersecurity advisor, a decision first reported by CNN and confirmed to CyberScoop by 3 sources with direct knowledge of the matter. The news comes as Inglis is traveling in Japan on a trip meant to strengthen cyber collaboration with a key ally in the region, and as cybersecurity issues generally are topping the White House agenda. President Biden had nominated Inglis, the former deputy director of the National Security Agency, to lead the newly formed Office of the National Cyber Director last year, tasking him to stand up an office that aims to bring a unified approach to U.S. cybersecurity policy. A spokesperson for ONCD declined to comment on Inglis's planned departure.
Okay, so a couple things here, okay? One, I appreciate this guy. There aren't too many people that do this, but dude, you want to talk about a civil servant? This dude spent 30 years in the NSA, probably could have retired quite well, and then he goes on to be National Cyber Director, which, okay, I'm sure there's a lot of prestige, a lot of access to power and stuff, but still, good on you. This is cool. I also want to point out, I'm not huge, up on politics and stuff. I know a little bit, but you got to remember, the United States just went through midterm elections. There was a shift, not a major shift, but there was some shifts in the House and the Senate a little bit. I do think Democrats kept control. Although, again, this isn't a political show, but like Kristen Sinema changed from Democrat to Independent. But the point is, it's not surprising that somebody that is in an appointed position in the U.S. federal government would transition out after elections, right? It's very, very common. Plus, this guy is probably ready. It might be nice to retire for a hot minute. But at that level, it's very Game of Thrones. I don't know if he's transitioning out so they can bring a younger, hipper, faster person in, maybe Jen Easterly, to come in and be able to push for the next 2 years to get ready for the presidential elections in 2024 and have a good cyber posture at that point. I don't know, but I don't see this. I mean, this story is interesting, but at the same time, I don't see this as oh my God, what did Chris Inglis do? He's traveling in Japan and he's getting fired. Oh, what's up? No, he's resigning. Of course, at this level too, you don't really get fired ever. You could be the most negligent, you could just not be good at your job and you would be given the opportunity to resign over getting fired. U.S. government, they don't really fire people. So that's it. I am kind of curious about the Cyberspace Solarium Commission. What that was about. I don't know if anyone in chat ever read that. I'd be curious. if they did. So I naturally, I did see your comment about passwordless authentication. I love passwordless authentication if done well, right? If you just make it your face, there's any control, whether it's passwordless authentication, whatever, locks on doors, whatever there is a way to circumvent. There's no bulletproof controls. That's why defense in depth is a thing. Literally, my 7-year-old yesterday took up my phone and he's like, and he just pointed at my face and it unlocked and then he went back and I was like, oh, you little, huh? You understand how to hack stuff. I mean, it's not really hacking, but he knew enough to just do it real quick.
Comcast Xfinity accounts hacked in widespread 2FA bypass attacks. Comcast Xfinity customers reported their accounts being hacked in widespread attacks that bypass two-factor authentication. These compromised accounts are then used to reset passwords for other services such as the Coinbase and Gemini crypto exchanges. Starting on December 19th, many Xfinity email users began receiving notifications that their account information had been changed. However, when attempting to access the accounts, they could not log in as the passwords had been changed. After regaining access to the accounts, they discovered that they had been hacked and a secondary email at the disposable yopmail.com domain had been added to their profile. Loader malware.
Okay. By the way, I want to say good morning to the 135 of you who are grinding. A lot of people take this week off in the United States. All right, guys. So Comcast Xfinity accounts hacked in widespread 2FA. This one's important. This actually may be the. Let me take a note here. I think this might be the newsletter for your end users story of the week. Newsletter. Comcast 2FA end user. Okay, here's the deal. Obviously, we tell. All right. Okay, so a couple things here. One, we tell people use MFA, right? Which they should, but MFA, 2FA, whatever you want to call it, is not bulletproof. Okay, so it's just another control in the stack. We want to do defense in depth. Second of all, it says Comcast Xfinity account, but what it's really referring to is email. The email accounts were hacked. The email. The email. I don't know if you guys remember Strong Bad, but that's oh man, that was a reference that just came into my head. So here's the deal. Ready? Basic. When I tell people, listen, you need to put multi-factor authentication on everything, but if you're only going to pick a few things because it's too inconvenient or because, whatever, whatever reason, put it on your financials. So your bank account, your credit card account, put it on your email. And people are like, oh, email. Well, here's why. Most password reset functions will send you an email. If I get into your email, first of all, I can change your password so you can't log back into your email, which sucks. Second of all, I can then start resetting all your passwords or disabling MFA on your financials, right? So I get into your email and then I could start resetting and logging into other things. In this case, that's exactly what happened. I bet you these accounts got locked out by the threat actors, right? Another thing that they did in here, so if your end users or your family loved ones are using Comcast Xfinity as their main email, make them aware of this. Have them look through their sent emails. Have them look through their received emails, archived emails, deleted emails, the trash can. At a scale of this big, the threat actors are not going to be doing, in my opinion, are not going to be doing very good cleanup. They're not going to be doing espionage, right? So there's likely going to be a lot of artifacts left over, like deleted emails, or just not even bothering to delete emails. You'll just see a host of emails that say your request to reset your password on Facebook is, here you go, click here. The final thing I'll say about this one is that they point out that the threat actors configured an additional email account, forward to email account of something the threat actor controlled, right? So if you don't know what I'm saying, or you're like, what the hell are you talking about, Jerry? Here's the deal. If you go into your email account, I don't care if it's Google, Apple, whatever, Exchange, like whatever it is, you can configure an additional email to forward your emails to. And like the ideal use case here is like, oh, I have 5 email accounts. I'll just forward them all to the one main email account that I use. And then I'll have all my emails conveniently dumped into one single pane of glass, right? Well, threat actors know this, and they will go in and they will configure forward to an email account that they control. And it's not really obvious on the front end, right? It's not like, oh, do you know you're forwarding your emails, right? So then you're like, oh man, my account got hacked, whatever. I changed my password. I reset 2FA. I feel good about myself. But every email that I send out goes also to the threat actor, or everyone that comes in goes to the threat actor, right? So they still kind of have visibility into your environment, which they can then, like if I do the password reset function again, that email is going to flow through your inbox and get sent to me also as the threat actor, right? So all of this is a long way to say always, not always, but if you suspected your account was hacked, go verify that the forward to address is not configured. And if it is, delete what's configured there. And also, it's worth doing like quarterly, just checking your forward to email account and just making sure that no one's been doing that. Okay. All right. Tukey says, I've been getting Microsoft account SSO for my account. I think this could be a phishing email trying to access account. Yeah, possibly. You'd have to do analysis on what that email is. If it looks real, if it looks BS, you can also go into your Microsoft account and look at recent logins attempts if you have access to that and see if there's, banging on the door. You could also change your password, Tukey, and see if that stops, because obviously the threat actor may have your password and not your MFA, if I'm reading that right. All right. Let's keep going.
Using new techniques to evade security software. Researchers at CrowdStrike have exposed a variety of techniques adopted by an advanced malware downloader called GULoader, or GU Loader, to evade security software. GULoader, also known as Cloud Eye, is a Visual Basic script downloader that is used to distribute remote access Trojans on infected machines. It was first detected in the wild in 2019, and a recent GU Loader sample unearthed by CrowdStrike exhibits a 3-stage process, wherein the VB script is designed to deliver a next stage that performs anti-analysis checks before injecting shellcode embedded within the VB script into memory.
All right, hold on. I'm just reading a little bit about this. Is a more complicated technical story, so I'm trying to absorb this. All right. Oh, cool. Yeah, this is cool. So they talk about 2 things here. GULoader remains a dangerous threat. Okay, so there's 2 things here, and I want to give a shout out too, because Simulate, I have worked with Simulate on the stream before, and they actually published some research around blindside attack, which I did read that article. Very interesting. If you're into the bits and bytes and the register and hardware, this blindside attack is actually quite interesting. It's basically taking advantage of hardware registers in order to, what was it? They use a hardware register to basically control flow and basically load a hookless NTDLL into memory, so it doesn't have all the hooks into where the EDR would be looking. Very interesting attack. Very, again, wicked nerdy, super technical. Anyways, all you need to know about this, guys, GULoader, all it's doing is classic anti-analysis techniques, right? So I've said this on the stream before. Anybody can write malware, right? Malware just does nasty stuff on your computer. The more advanced malware will do anti-analysis techniques in order to screw over security researchers from figuring out what it is that it's doing. Okay, so how does it do that? Well, typically, this is pretty common right here. When software runs, whether it's malware or software, it is running in memory, And what is running in memory? Your processes, right? When you do task manager and you're looking at your processes, software can look at that too, right? So the software will look to see what processes are running. And guys, like VirtualBox has a really well-known process name. What else? Like Hex Editor, PE, Viewer, like all of the common softwares, IDA Pro, WinDebug, like all the common softwares that security researchers use to look at malware, they have well-defined process names, right? It's not like IDA Pro is going to like randomly generate a process name before it loads. So the goo loader will look to see if those things are running, and if it is, it will assume it's being analyzed, and it will throw an error message, or it'll throw an error and basically blow itself up, right? There's also a VBS downloader. Again, so like the whole idea with this is the malware isn't technically there yet, and it will reach out and grab it. So the malware is basically trying to hide. So if you were to analyze this, you wouldn't see malware, but you would see this VB script reaching out to some network and pulling something down. I also want to mention that by doing this kind of modular build, you can update the remote access Trojan. It's decoupled from the VB script. So like the threat actor knows that the VB script is going to pull down a file. The fact that you can control a file and update a file and switch out what's a file gives the threat actors a lot of flexibility to keep their malware up to date and, EDR bypassing and stuff like that. So, yeah, just, I mean, this is not a crazy news story, right? Like threat actors have been doing this for years. It's just, here's another one that does a lot of what the other ones do. And this is why this is why it's strongly encouraged to have a commercial grade EDR solution on your endpoints, because, whether it's Carbon Black or Microsoft Defender or Sentinel-1, I don't care. What's important is that they are maintained and kept up to date, because like for all of this, you need someone on the security product side constantly updating their stuff as well, to make sure that it can handle stuff like that, okay? Let's listen to the mid-roll.
And now, a word from our sponsor, Tynes. Wondering how the world's leading security teams are figuring out how to do more with less? The answer is Tynes. Tynes is a hyper-flexible automation platform loved by customers like Okta, Canva, Kayak, and Coinbase. Tynes enables security teams to focus on what matters most by taking care of the grunt work. You can learn more at Tynes.com. That's TINES.com.
All right. We got a couple fun things to do here at the mid-roll. First of all, obviously, we're going to do our Simple Minds. All right, guys, it is the mid-roll. I've got several things to crank through. First of all, if you are getting value from the stream, if you're getting value from the news, if you're being entertained and or educated, and you'd like to say thanks, take 1 second, please, and just hit the like button. It does go a long way to helping other cybersecurity professionals and aspiring cybersecurity professionals find the stream. I would genuinely appreciate that. What's up, Andrew Nakamura? So, guys, if you are not familiar with it, I sent it out this morning, simplycyber.io/newsletter. The URL is right there in yellow. Go there, sign up, and get an email from me once a week for 3 cyber professional actionable tasks for your end users, peers, and executives. Literally, you can just a lot of times copy and paste directly from it, and it helps you kick butt. Earlier, we had seen people who are starting new cyber jobs in 2023. I'm telling you, this newsletter can be like a secret weapon for you to kick butt. All right? Oh, Jess Bishop got the newsletter today. Thanks, Jess. All right, guys, I want to let everybody know that this Thursday, so in 2 days, my good friend Alyssa Knight is coming onto the stream. API security researcher and filmmaker. She's been doing a lot of stuff with her Knight Studios. She's going to come on and talk about that. We're going to have a great conversation. So if you like film, if you like Alyssa, if you like good times, may I encourage you to come over and have a little sit a spell with us. Yeah, that'll be fun. All right. Now, one other thing. Hey. One other. So, guys, we did not have Monday is Callan's artwork of the week day every Monday, but we didn't have a stream yesterday, and Callan was really upset. He asked if today could be the art day, and I said, absolutely, son. So I just want to share with you, he did this freehand, okay? This is Callan's artwork of the week. 7-year-old Callan with his Pikachu Pokemon. And just so you know, Callan Auger made this. So, good job, Callan. Thank you for keeping it fun here on Simply Cyber. All right, guys. I do have one other question for you guys. Something serious. I've been approached by another vendor that I like and I use about wanting to be a sponsor for the show. Answer me honestly if you think that this morning threat briefing could handle three sponsors. I think 3 might be the max, or I might have to figure out some creative way to incorporate sponsors, but I just wanted some feedback from the crew. Let me know if 3 is reasonable. All right, guys. Let us do our laws. All right, so people are saying it's cool. All right, thank you, Matthew Netchi. Thanks, Richa. Thanks, Jim Lund. All right. Get that. Well, yeah, get that money. Hey, thanks so much.
What? Did we just become best friends?
Yeah, I do like them. I do like them. I just, I'm trying to balance, I'm trying to balance value and entertainment and education with, I guess, revenue, if you want to call it that. La 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 la. La 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 la. All right, we're getting ready to go back in the news. Yeah. All right. So let's do this. All right, I love it so much, guys. Yeah, I see your notes. I'll go back and read the comments on chat through the ads. The one thing is, in case you guys didn't know, I don't run like YouTube ads on the Daily Cyber Threat Briefing. I never have, and I don't think I ever will. All right, let's get back into the news.
Fined $64 million by France over cookies used in Bing searches. CNIL, France's digital privacy regulator, has fined Microsoft 60 million euros, that's $64 million, for not offering clear enough instruction for users to reject cookies used for online ads. This is as part of a move to enforce Europe's tightening data protection law. The organization said Thursday that it carried out several investigations on the Microsoft search engine Bing in September 2020 and May 2021, and found that the site dropped advertising cookies in users' terminals without their explicit consent. The website also lacked a button for users to reject cookies as simply as accepting them, said CNIL, pointing out that 2 clicks were required to refuse all cookies while only 1 was needed to accept them.
Yeah. So I think we covered this story on Friday as well. I feel like France and Ireland are competing for like the country that finds the most of big tech companies. Microsoft getting hit for 60 million euros again.
Straight cash, homie.
I mean, come on, like that's nobody's getting out of bed for less than 100 million euros. I do appreciate the super chat, by the way, Dominic. I can't see the full name, but I do appreciate the super chat. Yeah, old news. But hey, you know what? I do want to just point this out. I find this is an interesting precedent because a lot of cookies on websites, they do make it wicked easy to accept them, and they make it incredibly awkward to refuse them. Like several clicks to refuse, and then ultimately they make it turn into like a maze, and you're like, hell, I'll just accept all of them anyways. So I don't know about you guys, but I feel like France could go after pretty much any company and be able to, if this stands as precedent, they could definitely go after them that way. And again, it makes you wonder how much money was Microsoft making off of the tracking, right? Because guys, you got to remember, it's all about data, right? It's all about us. Like that's what that's what accepting the cookies is. It allows them to track us, see where we're clicking, see where we're going, see what we're doing. All of that has value because they turn around and sell it to data brokers who enrich it with other data and sell it to marketers, advertisers, all this other stuff. So Microsoft may have made more than $64 million USD on tracking all this data, which seems insane, but it's not really that crazy if you think about it. So, whatever. To me, it's almost like the cost of doing business at this point, which is ridiculous.
DuckDuckGo now blocks Google sign-in pop-ups on all sites. DuckDuckGo apps and extensions are now blocking Google sign-in pop-ups on all its apps and browser extensions, removing what it perceives as an annoyance and a privacy risk for its users. DuckDuckGo offers a privacy-focused search engine, an email service, mobile apps, and data-protecting browser extensions. The company announced last Thursday that all its Chrome, Firefox, Brave, and Microsoft Edge apps and browser extensions will now actively block Google sign-in prompts displayed on sites.
I don't know about that, guys. Okay. Now they're claiming that it perceives an annoyance and privacy risk, but DuckDuckGo is a direct competitor. Thanks for the sub, Max502. Listen, DuckDuckGo is trying to challenge Google in the realm of search. Now, I don't use DuckDuckGo, so I don't know if DuckDuckGo has email and document. I don't know if it's a true competitor for Google, period, or if it's just a competitor for Google search. But the fact that they're blocking Google sign-in pop-ups is interesting. I would see that as almost like you're getting dangerous into anti-competitive or whatever. Imagine if Google Chrome, didn't allow you to install DuckDuckGo, right? Or you couldn't access DuckDuckGo. They would lose their mind. It's just like what is it? If Microsoft Windows did not allow you to install Chrome or something, you had to use Edge. You know what I mean? So we'll see where this one goes. Again, I don't dislike DuckDuckGo. Although it is funny that they've been oh, we're the champion of privacy and everything, and then it came out last year that they were selling data, which is not surprising, right? Because they gotta how are they funding their operation? But I do like signing in with my Google creds across platforms. Whether it's Google, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's Facebook, whatever. Guys, federated authentication means you have less username and passwords to manage. And it makes it easier when, I don't know, LastPass gets breached and you have to change all your passwords. You could change it in one place. Definitely much better than having to jump around and have to change passwords or remember different passwords or whatever. So, yeah. To me, if you use DuckDuckGo and you like Google, just be aware that you could experience some pain. For me, what I see here is more interesting is whether or not this will go, if Google will do nothing about this or if Google will lash back with some type of legal response. So, I'm curious.
Threat actor allegedly offers data from 400 million Twitter users. A hacker who is active on the hacking forum Ryushi is urging interested prospects to buy sensitive details that were stolen from over 400 million Twitter account users. This hacker claims to have obtained access to the data through a vulnerability on the database and is ready to sell it for a hefty price, specifically $400 million. The hacker is also inviting Elon Musk or any of the Twitter staff to buy back the data to avoid penalties imposed by GDPR lawsuits. The seller also attested that escrow payments will cover the sale in control of the forum admin, the infamous Pom Pom Purin. Ireland's Data Protection Commissioner has opened up an investigation and has linked the current data possession claim to a massive data breach that took place last month.
All right. Yeah, obviously Ireland opens the case. Ireland, I'm telling you, man, Ireland and France jockeying for position is GDPR's canine teeth. Okay, so here's the deal. 400 million Twitter account users compromised, and the threat actor wants $400 million. So basically, threat actor is saying $1 per record, right? Even if you negotiate this down, 50%. I mean, $200 million is still a bananas payday. I love that he's invited Elon Musk or any Twitter staff to buy back the data to avoid GDPR lawsuits. I don't know if that's how that works. So, you know, and the lawsuit could be between 5 million and 8 million. Let me just do some quick math for you guys. If you are being asked to spend $400 million to avoid a $5 million fine, most people are going to take the $5 million fine and do double middle fingers back at you. So that's probably not well thought through. Whatever. Twitter is a hot mess on fire. Twitter is such a dumpster fire. Elon's going to step down as CEO. Tons and tons of community members have fled the platform. InfoSec Twitter has moved over to InfoSec Exchange Mastodon. Although I continue to use Twitter, I find Mastodon kind of difficult to use. I've tried. But anyways, that's really niched down to our industry. But people are still using Twitter. We'll see. If 400 million users got compromised, I'm curious what data was in the database. Phone numbers, email IDs, usernames, and location data. Okay. So not great, but a lot of this information is already online. So it's more about the financial penalty of GDPR infraction. You as an end user, me as a user of Twitter, I'm less concerned about my phone number, email, and Twitter handle being compromised. Like that's not worth the dollar. To put it plainly, I mean, I'm not going to sell it for $1 to anyone, but you can find it pretty easily. So look for this threat actor to not get paid, GDPR to fine them, and this story to just go away.
Experts warn of a critical Linux kernel vulnerability with a CVSS score of 10. A critical Linux kernel vulnerability exposes
Leonardo.
SMB servers with KSMBD enabled to being hacked.
Ooh.
KSMBD is a Linux kernel server that implements SMB3 protocol in kernel space for sharing files over the network. An unauthenticated remote attacker can execute arbitrary code on vulnerable installations of the Linux kernel. The vulnerability was discovered on July 26, 2022 by the researchers at the Thallium team at Thales Group, that's Thales, and was publicly disclosed on December 22nd of this year. A reminder, there will be no...
Okay, hold on. Okay, couple things here. One, the research came from Talos. Cisco Talos does a great job. If you're not familiar with them, just know that they are legit. Cisco Talos. They are legit. Okay? This group right here, Cisco Talos. Second of all, they talk about I don't know if the stream's timed out or not. I'm looking okay here. This has a CVSS score of 10. Guys, you don't see this very often. Usually the worst of the worst will be 9.8, and they leave a little bit of room, 0.2, because 10 is the highest. You can't go higher than 10. They'll leave a little bit of room for like exploitation in the wild, or like there's a GitHub thing out there where people are getting smashed, right? The fact that this is a 10 tells me that this thing is being actively exploited and getting slapped hardcore. Now, what's interesting is the threat researchers say here, KSMBD, right? So kernel, likely this is kernel, SMB, D is daemon typically, right? So that's kind of how you read this file name. Is new. Most people use Samba. So if you've heard of Samba, Samba allows like Linux to kind of integrate with Windows systems for file servers, right? It's been around for like 30 years. If you're using Samba, you're not affected. So if you're not running KSMBD, you're fine. Enjoy the weekend. I got to tell you, this is a really interesting finding. CVSS score of 10 is high, but a lot of Linux systems, I don't want to say that they don't get updated, but like Linux just works and people don't really screw with it. Windows requires a lot more touch. Also, most organizations are going to have only a few Linux servers running kind of some back office IT infrastructure stuff. So it's a little bit easier to find. I don't think you'd have Linux facing the internet, but you know, it's not impossible. But guys, remember, if you're running Samba, this thing isn't a problem for you, but KSMBD, if you are running that, there is a problem. Unauthenticated remote access can run arbitrary code. That's what means 9.8. Actively exploited likely means that it got bumped up to 10. So Linux is not invulnerable, people. A lot of people think that, like, oh, I use Linux, it's fine. I use Mac, it's fine. No. It's a computer. It runs code. Threat actors are going to threat act. It's Thales Group. Hold on. Let me see this. Thales Group. They said... hold on. Is Thales... Okay. So I guess Thales Group did... Look at this. Here's the... Let's look at these cookies. Reject all. See? And then it didn't confirm my choices. Reject all. See? I can't click through these. Right? Are you guys seeing this? And then, like, I hit accept, allow... Oh, my God. Just close. Anyways, I guess it's Thales Group. Thanks for calling that out, Mitch. That's what I was looking for. I'm sure they spelled different company than Talos, but wasn't sure which one. Anyways, so I can tell you I like Talos. I haven't heard of Thales Group, but if they did this, good on them. The TLDR here is if you're running this KSMBD, patch it. And if you didn't know, Linux can have vulnerabilities. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. All right. That's going to do it for the stream today, guys. If you were here just for the news, thank you so much. We ran a few minutes over. Sorry, base case in the NCC group. If you want to hang out for a hot minute and just jaw jack a little bit, I am here and will be for the next 3 minutes. A lot of Apache web servers run Linux. Thank you, Professor Black Ops. Good point. Good point. So if you don't know if you have Linux in your environment, definitely find out. Ask your IT folks. Or if you're the IT folks, you should know. Hey, BSEC, good to see you. InfoSec Kid with the coffee. Guys, normal week this week. I'll be doing the news Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Looking at the stream here. I think Monday the 2nd, so a week from yesterday, there will be no stream. Another 3-day weekend. It's the cloud. Yes, exactly. It's somebody else's. Thanks, Brandon Douglas, for the kind words. James McQuiggan, it is my move. All right, I'll take a look, James. Richa Sonver, Jenny Housley. Have a great Tuesday, Jenny. Big fan of all the squad memberships. Stan Smocks, good to see you. Carrie's got a Linux box. Alex Mayrides. Windows subsystems. Actually, you know what, Alex? I don't know if it would affect the Windows subsystem. The thing with Windows WSL is that you don't have kernel access. It's userland only, is my understanding of WSL, because I tried to run some stuff. I've been screwing around with a Kali and Ubuntu box in Windows Subsystem Linux, WSL, and had some challenges installing drivers, Windows drivers. I'm working on like a little fun project. If you guys are interested, I don't care. I don't know if anyone cares, but I've been doing some Wi-Fi hacking with my Raspberry Pi. Basic stuff, right? Like arrow dump, air replay, air crack, just for like a fun how to hack wireless video. And I could not install the wireless drivers for this antenna. This antenna is a Reolink, which allows you to inject packets and do more stuff that like a basic wireless card won't allow you to do. So if you guys are into that, I can put that out. Yeah, Realtek. Hold on. Yeah. All right. Yeah, great show per you. Thank you so much, Naturally Me. Guys, I think we might have a YouTube video going live here in a minute. Let me check it out. This is me playing that video game yesterday. What's today's date? The 27th? All right, so Mechanic to Cyber is going live this Friday. This Friday, Mechanic to Cyber. Marketing to Cyber on 1/3. January 3rd, Marketing to Cyber. And I've got elementary school teacher to cyber that I've got to record. So really looking forward to that, guys. Anybody can pivot into cyber, okay? And we're going to prove it. We're going to prove it. Definitely enjoy doing this this channel, getting to meet a lot of people. Pharmacy to cyber. Guys, you'd be surprised how many people message me that work in pharmacy and they're like, dude, I got to get out of this box, or I have made the transition. More than any of the other pivots to cyber, that one. I also have heavy equipment operator to cyber already filmed and ready to go. I just need to do it. I've got so many of these videos, I like lost track of them. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for the stream. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you all for the support. Thanks, Mark Lester. Thanks, Joel Marcano. Mitch T. Always good. Alana, great to see you. Dentist did the OSCP for fun. He didn't want to go into cyber. Just take the challenge. I love it, Leonardo. That's awesome. Alex Mayrides. Haven't been able to find a Raspberry anywhere. Yeah, this one I've had for years, or 2-3 years. My pleasure, Ryan. Timinator, Merry Christmas to you too. Andrew Nakamura, Asha, good to see you. Harish, also wanted to let you know, good video on Advent of Cyber. Thank you. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing the Advent of Cyber video. See it, I had day 20 to do the attack surface reduction video, which I it wasn't a super sexy topic, but I tried to make it as entertaining and as fun as I possibly could. Have a good one, zombie guy, Justin. All right, haircut fish in the hizzy. All right, guys, be good. Thanks for your feedback. Thanks for being part of the stream. Thanks for being part of the squad. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Be good. Have a great day. Go out there and crush it. We'll see you soon.